Okay, the final stage of the booking process is buyer's remorse. So you've cracked the planning stage, the research, the decide, and the booking. You've got the guest to book. How do you stop that dreaded cancellation? Like I said in the previous stage, when a guest books through an online travel agent, the cancellation rates can be 30% plus on average, which is really high. That's one in three. So, what can we do to limit that guest cancelling? I'm going to walk you through some stages. If you want to go back on this at any point, as always, go to boostly.co.uk/blog, go down to the booking process, and I've got it all down here. So first tip is email the guest within 24 hours of booking. Now, when they book via your website, they will get a booking confirmation, whether it's via your booking engine, whether it's via an OTA, they will get a confirmation of some sort. But it is good for you personally to send an email to the guest 24 hours after a booking. It shows personalization. It also helps with giving any important information or collecting some more information from the guest. So a nice simple reach out to the customer who has made the booking will make a lot of difference. Now, a big comment I get at this stage is that I haven't got the time to make sure I email every guest personally 24 hours after booking. And the good news is that you don't have to personally do it. There is awesome automation tools out there now that will work with your booking engine. So when a booking does come in, you can set a rule. So 24, 72 hours, 40 hours after the booking, they will automatically be sent an email. You create the template, you create the copy, and that gets sent out. So for you, it's non-additional work. For the guest, they get that email from yourself, a nice little welcome email, bit of information about the property, let them know a little bit more about the room, etc. You can do all of that, and it doesn't have to be you sat behind a computer every day, which is really key. Number two, a great way to avoid buyer's remorse and a cancellation is quite simply add in non-refundable rates on these online travel agents. That will cut down on that massively. I have written more about this in the past. Just go on to Boostly and go how to cut down on cancellation rates for your property. There's a full blog on there. Really recommend that you check that out. Another option, and again, before you jump to conclusions, no, you don't have to do this manually. Send your guest a text message. Emails can go missing. The amount of times in the past when I've had a guest arrive at the property and they hadn't sort of pre-booked a meal and they wanted one, and I said, did you get my email saying that you have to let us know if you want an evening meal? And they said, I never got the email. So many times an email can go missing for whatever reason, or they just don't read it. Something that never goes missing is a text message. So as you'll notice now, when guests are booking on your property, I'd say 75 to 80% of the time they are booking with a mobile phone. Not many people use landlines anymore. It's just a fact. People are booking with their mobile phone, so you now have access to them at all times. If you're like me, I am never too far away from my mobile phone, and that is the same for your guests as well. So to keep up with the personalization, as well as sending them an email, send them a text. Now, I don't recommend bombarding them with text messages. We all know the types of companies that do, and it gets annoying. But if you could just send a little text, again, 24 hours after booking, 24 hours before arrival, or even 12 hours before arrival, and send them really specific information. For example, if you're a bed and breakfast and you have a very strict check-in time, because you don't want to be waiting around for them, say it's between 1 and 4, you could send a text message at 9 o'clock in the morning of arrival just saying, please could you give us, or text back with your estimated time of arrival. Please note that our check-in time is between 1 and 4. it will help you because you're not having to sit around and wait for people to arrive. It's B, it's good for the guests because they know that A, you're expecting them and you can communicate directly with them. And also as well, you can upsell at this point. So you could have one 24 hours before arrival. If you've got a restaurant on site, you could be last chance to book your table for tomorrow's night. Please let us know if you'd like to book. Text back yes or no. Things like that. If they wanted to sell them maybe an upsell on some alcohol in the room or a bottle of champagne for a loved one, etc., you could do that. So there's some really cools you can do. And again, it's not all manual. There are automatic tools out there that are on the internet, which the big hotels have been using for years, and it's now being available to us, the small guys. So there's one called Zingle, and I have wrote a big blog about this. Since I wrote this blog in 2016, there is a couple of other automatic text messaging companies that have become available, so I really do recommend that you check them out. And finally, again, the reason why someone has booked with you, whether it's a holiday cottage, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a bed and breakfast, and they haven't booked with a faceless organization like a Marriott or a Hilton or a Travelodge or a Premier Inn, is because you offer something a little bit different. You are technically welcoming these people into your home. It's the social aspect. It's why people still come and stay in independently owned bed and breakfast or hotels or holiday cottages. So you've got to give them something that the other guys won't. And this is where you can work with your local community, whether it's a hospitality association or if you go alone and you work with individual bars, restaurants, attractions that are close to where you're based. Let me explain. A week before arrive, you're going to go and stay somewhere in the UK or in Europe. Imagine how cool it would be if you get an email or a text message from the property that you're going to stay at to let them know that you've just sent them some money off vouchers for a local restaurant, a local bar, or a local water park, or just something like that. So this is where you have to go out and network and just sort of chat to local businesses in the area and just sort of say, listen, I run a property, we want to send guests to you. What can you give to me that I can pass on to the guests to get them to come and visit you, instead of going to Burger King, McDonald's, Nando's, one of the big chains. Again, you're working with local businesses here to get people to go and shop local, eat local, and visit local. Okay, so one thing you could do again is get like local vouchers. You could get money off. You could get just think of what you can do at this stage after the booking's been made. And again, you can send it a week before arrival, 24 hours before arrival, or you can send it at the point of booking just to let you know, here's a little present. Thank you for booking with us. Thank you for booking with a independently owned property. We've got you £10 off here, etc. Try and think of something that you can send them that will have an instant gratification towards you as a property. If you start doing this and you just show personality, I guarantee that your cancellation rates will drop. Now, you never can factor in, simply illness, car problems, change of plans. That will happen. You're never going to get a 0% cancellation rate. But if you can get 30% to 20% or 15% cancellation rate, you're going to have a happier rota, a happier calendar, happier profits, because you're not then having to worry that a guest who's booked and hasn't laid any money down isn't going to arrive. So that's how you can sort of combat the buyer's remorse. My biggest takeaway would be, try and get the guest to lay down a little bit of money when they're making the booking. I found in any scenario that when someone has to lay down a bit of money, it doesn't matter if it's £10, £20, £100, £200, whatever, if they committing some form of money to something, they're more likely to turn up than if somebody who can just book for free, don't have to pay until on arrival. Those are the ones that or if they're 50-50 or 60-40 or 30-70, they will cancel. So how can you do this? Again, there's loads of automation tools out there. It's about having a crystal clear deposit scheme on your website. It's about making sure that when someone books via an OTA that you've got tools in place where you can check that the card's got money on it, etc. I have written and recorded a video all on this on Boostly, so you can go and find it. It's all about automation tools. I am creating something for my booking engine that I am creating, so if you want to know more about it, please get in touch. But that has been the 5 stages of the booking process. I hope this has made things a lot more clearer and you can understand what people go through when they try and book at your place. If you've got any questions, please reach out. The email is mark@boostly.co.uk. Final time, if you want to see this and go back on all the 5 steps at any point, go to boostly.co.uk/blog. If you scroll down, there's a full section just on the booking process here. You can also go and see really other cool features and blogs that we've had in the past, including interviews with other hospitality owners, the new Boost Hospitality podcast, how-to blogs. There's everything in here. So we'd love for you to go and check that out and leave some feedback. If you want to reach me on Facebook, you can do. It's facebook.com/Mr. Mark Simpson. If you want to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, it's @BoostlyUK. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching this. We'll see you again soon.